This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
I want you to take a second and think about this. A magical moment. Think about what that might be in your life. Could be anything. Could be 10 years ago. It was magical. You still feel it. That feeling can drive future magical moments and positivity in your life. We're going to talk about that today. And this is all part of what she does in terms of offering transformational life coaching. And she's back with us. Our professional of the year, Donna Day, joins us here. How's everything going by you?
Oh, great. How about you? It's so great to be back.
Yes. Yeah, it's all good here. And this was inspired because you're in New Jersey
Yep.
and you had a little bit of light snow. I'm on Long Island and I'm not
Okay.
getting, I don't think we're getting it only because the water that surrounds us is keeping the air a
Yeah.
little bit warm. But if you go to the north of us, they're getting snow like the first one of the year. And then progressively north, it's more snow. But that first snow is kind of magical, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, and everyone can kind of relate to it, like you can almost like imagine it's like the night before like the holidays, Christmas or Hanukkah or Christmas Eve, and that sparkling moment that just kind of like gets lit by that first snowfall, the quiet snow falling with the blanketing world and and it's just beautiful and you get that sense that anything's possible. And that same energy and magic that you can tap into with that, you can use to create a vision, to create a life you love.
So I heard this, and I think it's in line with what we're talking about, and they call it the 17-second rule. So think of a moment that was just great. You felt good, your vibration was up, whatever it may be. And for me, the first thing I think of, and I go back to this because I believe I shared with you, I went away for the first time ever in my life solo, and I did it twice this year. Just so that wasn't expensive, just getting away. There were moments there, it was kind of magical. But the 17-second rule is to think of that moment, whatever it is, whatever feels good for you, and hold that thought for 17 seconds. And then use that feeling, now that you've got that feeling, and translate that to something else in your life, whatever you want, whether it's your job, that, what part of your job just kind of makes you feel good. But now elevate that feeling based on the 17-second rule. Your thoughts on that?
I absolutely love it. I've never heard it before, but I think it's very powerful, and I think especially when people are trying to change up their life and like move in a different direction for a positive, and I think that's exactly what you do when you start to create your vision. You want to think about how you're feeling in the moment of what you're describing. You want to describe the setting and what you hear and what you smell and everything. You want to just kind of like almost transport yourself into that vision or moment, just like you were talking about. And by staying in that energy, that's where you reach the same vibration of where you want to be. And if you can constantly keep bringing yourself up to that, that's when things are going to start aligning and you're going to start attracting, what you would really love in life.
So essentially, Donna, are we talking about effective manifestation by doing that?
And that's part of but
Okay.
it's a little bit more than manifestation. It's really because manifestation is thinking about like just like something like a goal or something that you would like, or even like an object, like, oh, I'd really love a new car, or so you're manifesting like a small little piece. The vision takes it a step further. So pretty much what that's doing is you're really starting to think about, what do you want in life? What makes you happy? And you start painting this entire picture of how you would love life to look, right? And then you start talking about it as if you're living it in the present moment. And
Hmm.
instead of thinking it's out of reach, it's right here with you. So, and that's what the power of vision is. And that's what a lot of transformational life coaches help guide people is to really figure out what they truly want and what would truly help them, live a life that they love and that's full of abundance and, everything. So it's like it is manifestation, but it's like, kind of like on like steroids. you know, and you're literally starting to live that vibration right away instead of waiting.
Hmm. All right, that's a key point right there. Because if you're manifesting something, you got to wait for it. And of course, you're the feeling. Let's say the perfect person in your life. Well, what would that feel like? We're doing things together. The feeling of they care about me, they got my back, I got them. That just like, I'm going away with them. I'm playing, in your mind, that feeling. This
Yeah.
sounds like it's an overall abundance of joy in your life in all areas. Just you're
Yep.
basically you're elevating everything.
Yeah, and then what I like to do with my clients is we get the grand vision, right? And then we will focus in on like one area so it becomes stronger. And then, you'll start to notice once you focus in on an area, like it could be, let's say, like health, or it could be your vocation, or it could be like love and relationships, or time and money freedom, or whatever little area that you feel you need that you would love the most improvement in or change in. That's where we focus. And then what ends up happening is when you start working in that area, all the other areas start to improve as well. So it's kind of like a
Uh,
spiral, you know? So like a clear vision pretty much just requires your brain to tell your mind to look for potential, not problems, which activates the creative solutions and draws all the different opportunities your way. And like I like to say is when you dare to dream, life conspires to meet you halfway. So, you gotta kind of go that direction in order for it to come towards you as well.
I got it now. And I see it. I see it totally different now that you explained it that way. I was piecemealing it. So,
Yeah.
that feeling of that perfect person. I'm gonna be honest with you. In terms of manifesting them, they haven't really showed up yet. Somebody did, but I didn't fully manifest. I left some pieces out. Everything's right there except a couple pieces.
So,
I need to be more thorough. But I've actually sat in my car waiting to pick my daughter up and just be hanging out. I've actually talked to my passenger seat as if somebody's there to feel that feeling of what it
yeah.
would feel like. But that's piecemealing it. That's one thing. Let's say what it would be like to show up at your dream job. This is the best job ever. And that feeling, you're walking through the hallway. Hey, how you doing? How's it going? How's that project going? That
Yeah.
feeling,
Yeah.
but those are pieces. What I'm getting from you is that you're elevating everything, your overall vibration, and
Yep.
that will trickle out to those other areas, be it, the perfect person, the opportunity,
Yeah.
and you're going to see those things come to you because you're not wallowing, in the low vibration. You've raised it up. So now I see it a little bit differently. Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and even like with relationships, like, a lot of people are like, oh my God, I can't believe I wasted so many years on this person or whatever. But what they don't realize is by going through those relationships, that's when you can start to build a clear vision of what you really want. You don't know what you want until you start to, feel it out, and that's the same with like every area of life. And as you become more clear and you gain more clarity on what you truly like desire and would love, that's when the attraction of that just starts pouring in without you even realizing. Like you don't have to try any, it just kind of comes towards you. So like what the vision does, it magnifies your energy, like you were just saying. And
Mm.
just like snow, that excitement of snow days for kids and stuff, it lifts their spirit, it lifts the adult spirits, just seeing the kids so happy, and your vision lifts your energy, which makes you completely magnetic to the possibilities and people who can, help you and who you can attract and who are meant to be in your life.
Hmm. It's funny. I had this conversation with my friend at the gym today, and we were talking about relationships. Just we here today, we just opened that door somehow,
Yeah.
and he said basically to me, he said, you're not ready for like a full blown relationship, something, very serious, et cetera, et cetera. And I looked at him and I said, yes, I am. I said, if you said that 2 years ago, I would probably say, yeah, I think I am. But to your point, you go through relationships, some even long term, as sucky as it may have turned out. And as much as you want to wallow in the victim, well, you can't believe what they did. Look what they did. Yeah, they could
Yeah.
have been done horrific things. I get it. I do. Um, but why sit there? Why sit in that low vibration where you could raise your vibration up? I don't want to say forget the past, but just move it to the side and just ride on the positive side of things because it's nothing good is going to come your way from being negative.
No, and if you just wallow in it, you're gonna actually keep attracting the same thing
Right.
instead of, popping out of it and, attracting something new and something that's, more fulfilling and, something that would be happy. And so you're gonna keep repeating all those same things, whether let's say it's a new person, but then you start realizing, wow, this is so similar to the last person, even though it's a new person. That's because you're staying in that vibration instead of, pulling yourself out of it and really thinking about like, what would make me happy? Like what characteristics of a person and what are things that I would love in like a partner or a spouse, like it could be even activities that you like to do, like put
Mm.
it out there. Like, my mom always told me, she's like, just write a list, and I've done that before. And then sometimes I write the list and sometimes I'm like, oh, this is wonderful. And then it's too much of something. You know what I mean? Like, like there was one time I had a relationship where I was with someone who was not a good communicator. So I was just like, I want someone that really great communicator, right? And it got to the point where it was too much. It was like literally every 2 seconds they texted me, letting me know where they were. You know what I mean? Like, so I appreciated it at first because it was so opposite of what I had, but then it became a little too overwhelming. So, like, like that's why you kind of have to like just go through the process, but keep pushing towards what you would love instead of wallowing in what you don't have or what you lack.
Mm. How do we do that? What's the best way? I mean, it's just, many of us go through challenges. Sometimes we're jaded. Um, Not even just about relationships. Let's say you want to change your job situation.
Yeah,
Uh, Whatever it may be, how do we get to that point where we find the magic and we hold it?
hold it. It's not simple though. It's a process. But like the main key is to really clarify and gain clarity on what you really want. Because if you're wishy-washy, you're going to get a little of this, you're going to get a little of that, you're going to get this. So the more you can clarify your vision or where you'd like your life to be or what career you would like or what type of lifestyle you would like, like any of that stuff, the more clear and the more you put that energy out there, that's what's going to come towards you. But when you're unsure and you're kind of feeling this out or feeling out, the universe feels that. So the universe is kind of like, you're not sure what you want, so I'm going to throw you a little of this, a little of that. So hopefully, you'll gain some more clarity on what you do want and run with that, So that's like the number one thing. But to get to that point, that can be challenging, especially some people, definitely have more traumas or experiences that are harder to overcome than others,
Sure.
but anyone can do it. So, it doesn't matter what you have gone through or what life has thrown you, anyone can do this.
I find that it's about clarity, and our
Yeah.
minds have so much going on now more than ever,
Hmm.
with so many things that take our attention, social media, on and on and on and on. For me, I feel the best way is like your mom said, write it down so
Yeah.
you can see it. And we've said before, there's a powerful connection between the mind and the hand when you write it. You're almost, I believe like a quarter there in terms of making it real, because
Yeah.
now it's on paper. Don't type it.
Yeah.
You gotta write it. It's got to come from you. But you're already halfway there. You're getting close to being halfway there in terms of it, because our minds are like all jumbled. You may think you know what you want.
Yeah.
You don't know until you really intentionally process it through writing it down.
Yeah, and that's like another term for that could be considered like sourcing. You're sitting with yourself and you're just kind of allowing the ideas to come to you, because you're actually in tune with yourself instead of all the noise. So that's something I actually, that's a term that I use is sourcing when you're writing it down. But then the next step to that after you write it down is to actually say it out loud to
Mm.
yourself, and because when that's the vibrations in your voices is what's putting it out there. So it's a full process, thought to paper and then into the actual like vibrations of your voice that are going out. And when you say it, don't be like, I wish this, I hope that. No, 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 no. You're gonna like literally be like, I would love this, or I am doing this, or my life is like wonderful. And today I woke up, even if you didn't wake up and this didn't happen, you put it in as if it did happen. And when you put that out there, the vibrations are completely different and the
Mm.
magic starts to happen.
I'm almost embarrassed to admit that even learning all of this stuff and doing podcasts on it, I never thought about after you write it down, saying it. Oh my gosh. That makes like so much total sense. And there is a distinct vibration with our voices, almost to the fact that they can do scans. I've had it done before. Even last week I had one. I think it's called an AO scan, where you give 10 seconds of your voice, and using algorithms and a lot of other technology, it can be determined what you might have going on within your body, deficiency.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
I gotta look into this. I'm curious.
Yeah, Google AO scan, and it's legit. Like, and I've looked at the results from it and what's come back. Like maybe I had recent labs where deficient in vitamin D or whatever it might be. It was right. It was right. And just on the vibration
Wow.
only of your voice, and you plug in like date of birth and things like that. Very
Yeah.
basic, very, very basic. So that is powerful. I can't believe I never thought of that. Like and I get it, do it when nobody else is around. It might sound kind of ridiculous to some others when you're, talking about the things you want.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with a blue Lamborghini. Just
Just
saying.
say-
Just saying. Um,
Yeah.
hmm.
But like one of my favorite places is in the car when I'm driving by myself.
Yeah.
I like listening to tunes, and then if I feel like, pushing something out there, turn the tunes down and I just say it because, I'm in there by myself and, I don't feel like awkward. And even if someone looks over and looks like I'm talking to myself, everyone talks in the car anyways. You
Have
know?
you ever done this? How is it? You're driving in a car and like somebody irks you. Could be, your friend, like whatever, hypothetical gear, Mike, driving there, Mike, you are a jerk. I mean, again, like seriously, what is up with Mike? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And you're thinking it or you're saying it, whatever. And then you change it and you talk about something positive. I am amazing. I have so many good things going on in my life. I am anticipating a raise coming up before the
Yeah.
end of the year. You feel so much better when you raise the vibration. Like
Oh,
be
yeah.
intentional think of it and feel it, what it feels like versus even when you're driving along, like be I
Yeah.
itching about a situation, there's a difference. There's a major difference.
Oh, totally. And like the only thing I do a little bit different is that is like negative, and then I'll kind of like, well, and instead of staying in it, I'll just recalibrate my and generate my state by just taking like 3 deep breaths, and then I go into the positive talk, because
Sure.
that, will then ground you and kind of help with the transition instead of allowing any of that negativity to leak into it.
I never thought of it that way. So
Yeah.
the couple of deep breaths would be considered grounding.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you just like, but you got want to make sure you go and like breathe out through a straw. So you want to go nice and slow. So I did
Mm.
a little fast just because with our timing, but like you just want to take a nice deep breath, and instead of just going like out like that,
Yep.
you just go slowly like a straw.
Yep.
So you
I
let your whole chest go up and down.
I literally heard this yesterday. When you're taking that deep breath, you take it
Yeah.
in, and before you
Yep.
take it all in, you do another quick one. You go,
Yep.
and then when you after you hold it and you let it out, you do the same thing. You go,
Yep.
just one more like blast, like pushing it out there. And of course, do it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Um, it does make a difference. I mean, that is science. We're not just like woo crazy over here. It's been
No,
identified.
it really is. Like it's like helps your brain chemistry and like everything, It's the same as like dancing. That also helps move the energy just like breathing. But sometimes when you're sitting in an office or, in the car, you can't really get up and dance, like you can go a little bit like this, but it's not the full experience.
My analogy to that is I would watch my dog
Hmm.
and comes in from the outside. We go through the garage, open up the door to go inside. Before he goes in, he shakes himself. And I always thought, oh, okay, the wind was blowing, your fur is all in a different position. You're just kind of like getting in position until I talk to animal communicators, and they all say the same thing. Oh no, he's like you just said, transitioning from the outside to the inside,
Yeah.
and that's how he's shaking off the energy of the outside to prepare to go in.
Yeah. It's
It's
amazing. Animals do it naturally if you actually
exactly,
watch them. It's us
exactly.
humans that are a little bit delayed.
I will admit, there's been times I'm driving in the car and I'll have a thought, and it could be like a negative thought. This is going to sound ridiculous, but I don't care. I'll even shake my head for a second while I'm driving
Oh
to,
yeah.
to shake it off.
Yeah.
Like Taylor Swift, shake it
Take
off.
it
Like
off.
just,
Yeah.
and then just I get that out of my auric field, my energetic field, and then move on to something else. And I shake it. That's a bad thought.
Yeah.
Shake it off. Move it on.
Yeah.
Move it
It
on.
just it moves that energy, just by like, I do the same thing. Sometimes it almost look like I have a shiver, like
I try not to do it in front of people. Like they'll think, it's a weird tick. Like, what's going on with him? But it energetically, it's
Yeah.
a transition, like it is with the grounding and the breaths.
Yeah.
Um, the magic. Let's keep the magic going. And
Yeah.
one final thought in the things that you say when you reframe it. I like using the word deserve. I
So,
deserve,
yes.
you know?
I deserve, and then the other one I also love is I would love, instead of I want this, I need this, you know.
And I believe that the difference there is you never want to come from a place of lack. Like, I need, I want.
Want.
Okay, yes, you do,
Exactly.
but phrase it in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Got a different energetic imprint. I
Exactly.
can't believe I never even thought of saying stuff out loud. Wow. Um, This is why you do what you do. How do we connect with you? If somebody's looking to make a transformation, and I get a little today, a little woo with the energy thing here, but it is science as well.
Yeah. No, it
Mhm.
is. Transformation is science, and it's also like, spiritual or like faith, belief, however you want to universal. It's two sides.
Your your website is essentially your name, right?
Yes, it's www.donnadaytlc.com. My email is the same. It's donnadaytlc@gmail.com. And my phone number is 201 719-6991. And I also have a blog site, but you can find that on all my social media. So that's letthelightbewithyou.com, but light is LITE instead of LIGHT. So that's where all my events and sometimes my new packages and stuff are. Like I have a holiday package right now. That's a short one, which is fun.
Yeah, check that out.
Yeah.
Thank you for today. This is like it's important. And at the very least, get out of the habit of being negative and start looking at the magic of life. And even if you're in situations that are challenging, I always say, and it's a hard lesson to accept, look for the opportunity. There's always going to be one there.
Exactly. I agree.
Cool. Thanks for being here today. We'll catch up soon, okay?
All right. Thank you
Appreciate
for
it.
having me. Bye.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.